Hi EEC fandom, welcome back to my channel. As promised-ish, it wasn't so much of a promise, more of a teaser, but I wanted to take advantage of this nice setup I still have here for a few hours. I'm presenting you today with my reaction slash lyrics explainer video. I'm going to focus on both the original lyrics and on my translation. Now, this is a double duty video, and I have to be clear once again. I may have sounded a little bit dismissive on my last video. I absolutely adore the original Portuguese lyrics, and this video is not so much patting myself on the back kind of thing. Well, it also is. I'm very happy about my translation. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shared it with you. But I am especially proud of Mimikat's lyrics writing abilities. It's a very interesting piece of poetry as well. It's not just the musical aspect of it. I think she's very playful as well with the Portuguese language, and we will see just how playful she is. And I try to emulate some of it to some extent. I cannot guarantee a perfect emulation of the spirit of it, but I tried. So I have my little karaoke style video that I also published in my channel, but with Mimikat singing. I'm not doing that for copyright reasons. I'm just using their instrumental backing track. I wish I had this video when doing my cover. It would have been very useful to get the timings right. And I will react and pause it along. Here goes.
Ai, coração, que não me deixas em paz, não me dás sossego, não me deixas capaz. Tenho a cabeça e a garganta num nó que não se desfaz e nem assim tu tens dor.
So let's pause it there. I'm going to explain this on a verse by verse basis. And let's start at the top with the heart, the main topic of this song. Is it though? Is it literally our heart? Well, spoiler, it is not. And many of you probably already have seen some reactions and some of her interviews and whatnot, and maybe even read the official translation. But spoiler, the heart here is a double entendre, or a double meaning word. It can mean both her physical, literal heart, or, and this is the route that I took, and you will see further on the chorus, it can be meu coração, can also be my sweetheart. I believe the Spanish also have the mi corazón. They also use it for that expression. Maybe also the Italians, and we will see. The Italians are important. We'll get to there in a moment. So basically, this translation is almost literal, but there is something that is sadly lost here in translation, which is the não me deixas em paz, não me dás sossego. This two transition line thing, paz e sossego, is literally the Portuguese expression for peace and quiet. I could not preserve this idiom, so yeah, sadly it's gone. It couldn't fit. I couldn't fit it in the rhyme. Then we have the não me deixas capaz. This is a very important one as well, which is also sadly lost. Capaz means literally able, able to do something, or able-bodied, or able-minded, or just able. However, in a contemporary context, the word capaz is used as almost like a feminist term. Interestingly, capaz rhymes with rapaz, which means boy, and there's this expression in Portuguese called Maria Rapaz, which is literally tomboy. And I believe the whole capaz thing, it's kind of like a pun. There's even this, I think she's a podcaster, I'm not sure, called Maria Capaz instead of Maria Rapaz. So it means to be able without having to be a tomboy or a man. And that is lost in translation. I could not make it fit, but I should leave this reference here. I don't know if Mimikat did it on purpose, but considering her speech saying she's proud to be a woman and proud to be a Portuguese woman, I'm guessing the capaz slipped through here either consciously or subconsciously. That's why it's here, I believe. Then we go to tenho a cabeça e a garganta num nó que não se desfaz e nem assim tu tens dó. This is also interesting. She starts already mentioning the connection between her head and her body. She goes straight to the head. We don't say that we have the garganta, the throat tied up in a knot. We only say that the throat is tied up in a knot, not the head. But it's interesting to see how she connects the two. You know, well, the throat is near the head, but it's an interesting wordplay here. It's like her whole body is tied up. So, and then we have que não se desfaz e nem assim tu tens dó. Here I didn't translate literally que não se desfaz. It's very abstract. It would be that one can't undo. I didn't want to have such colloquial speech. I wanted to reserve it for later in the song, and you will see why, and I think it makes sense. And then, yet you pity me not. I think the original translation isn't very happy in this regard. The you pity me not, this is almost biblical language. It's almost colloquial to a fault, but it's mostly poetical. The swapping the you don't pity me, it's you pity me not, or you don't take pity on me. That's too long. Pity me not is better, and we have a lot of alliteration here. Yet you pity me not. I think it works better. Tied up in a knot, pity me not. So yeah, and I decided to put it that I can't undo. Make it a little bit more personal. It's her problem after all. Let's see the second stanza.
Sinto-me tonta cada dia pior. Já não sei de coisas que sabia de cor. As pulsações subiram quase para mim. Estou louca, completamente senil.
Little break there. So basically, she says, I'm feeling dizzy, getting worse every day, forgetting stuff I used to know how to say. Why did I made some changes here? Well, the first line is the same. It's almost a literal translation. There's maybe some difference there with the gerunds, some repetition, feeling, getting. Then on the second line, there is a bit of a change. This is also something sadly lost in translation. She says, já não sei de coisas que sabia de cor. This is literally, I no longer know stuff I used to know by heart. So we lost that connection with the theme of the song. And this is why I mentioned the Italians before. The linguists, the scholars, can correct me in the comments. I'm speculating, but I believe that the root, the etymological root of cor here is literally coração. In Italian, the word for heart is cuore, and it's very common to see in opera arias, which I had to sing a few. Nel cor, like basically the word cuore abbreviated to cor to fit into the metrical units of the poem and the rhyme. So I believe here saber de cor comes from there, the saber do coração, know by heart. We lost it. We don't have it literally in Portuguese, but that's what the expression means. I had to lose it because I couldn't make it fit. They rhymes with say, heart rhymes with nothing, as you will see. Basically, there's no rhymes with heart in the entire song. Interesting. Then we have the literal as pulsações subiram quase para 1000. It's interesting that she uses the word pulsações. It means pulse or heartbeat. We don't usually say that in Portuguese. She made it extra colloquial and technical and medical, which fits in with the whole hypochondria and anxiety theme she has going on here. We say tenho o coração a 1000. Literally, my heart is at 1000 beats per minute. It's implicit. We say that in Portuguese if we are nervous or excited about something or whatever. Yeah, it's an expression we use. It doesn't make sense translating it. It's colloquial, and I'm guessing the English version of it is my heart beats racing. That's what it is. So we lost that idiom. We gained another one in English. But I added, since she used the pulsações, it almost feels like she's just love struck. That's what we know about the song. This is basically someone who's love struck. I can almost picture her going to WebMD and figuring out she's gonna die. So that's why I go through the this has got to be bad route. Very dramatic, more dramatic than in the original. It's not there, the expression. But then she goes to the doctor on the other next stanza, so it ties in with it, anticipates what's coming. Then the estou louca completamente senil. This is very strong language. I had to switch up the louca and senil. The mad should come first, and then the senile. Senile here means as if you had a degenerative disease or something, Alzheimer's or something. Or just plain old age, losing your faculties just by turning old, which she isn't. So again, we know this is hypochondria. But there's also another interesting thing here about my choice of words. Instead of saying I have my heart beats racing, it relates to my heart, it's her heart. And then we have the brain's decaying. Why the brain, not my brain? Well, when I wrote this in about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 1.5 hours. And at that time, I think I was like doom scrolling on social media, and I came across a post that I knew before, but it came up again. A tweet or something saying that we are kind of like fat and water, our brains basically, fat and water mecha warrior stuck in a meat and bones mecha robot. Like the brain is encased in this skull and this bone cage, and we are the brain. And in that sense, she can't say my brain because it's the brain speaking. She is the brain. So that's why I chose to put the brain. She's not referring as herself in third person, but almost. It's a slight little change, my personal touch, if you will. And yeah, the brain's decaying. I mean, yeah, it doesn't get worse or more hypochondriac than that. So let's go to the next verse. So let's stop it there. My burning chest, my dry mouth, what should I do with you, my dear, my love for me, this just won't do. Well, I really like how she did this. This song is a build-up of tension from beginning to end, and there is the macro build-up. You don't know you're going to get to the high note at the end. You kind of suspect it because you get a high-ish note with each chorus repetition, and higher and higher the longer the song goes. But you have some interesting verbal tension here. When she says, o peito a arder, a boca seca, eu sei lá. It's literally, my burning chest, my dry mouth. I believe the original translation is very similar to mine in this regard, or it's the other way around. Mine my translation is similar to the original one. But this eu sei lá, this is very hard to translate, these two things, because eu sei lá can be an interjection. In isolation, eu sei lá, it's the equivalent, again, with the Italians, it's the equivalent to the bo, or the German keine Ahnung. I have no idea. Like, eu sei lá means I don't even know what the heck is happening, you know? It's an expression of almost like impotence, like you don't know what to do. And then there's resolution right in the next verse. So there is tension and resolution in just 2 lines of poetry. I love this. O peito arder, a boca seca, eu sei lá o que te fazer, ou o que te fazer. Amor para mim assim não dá. This is the reveal. This is the midpoint. It's not the midpoint of the song, but conceptually it's the midpoint between verse and chorus. The chorus is an answer to the verse, or to the verses. The verses set this up as a case of anxiety. About what? It's unspecified. We don't know what she's anxious about. She might be anxious about some personal issue, either like job or health related even. But no, we have the resolution here. O peito arder, a boca seca, eu sei lá, I'm sick, like I have my burning chest. What should I do? So this what should I do is the best I could come up with in English, because I'm proud of having preserved this. Eu sei lá o que te fazer. So this eu sei lá o que te fazer, it's a whole sentence broken apart between 2 verses, between 2 verse lines. And I did the same. Eu sei lá o que te fazer. What should I do with you, my dear? There's your answer. This is all about a third party or a second party, I don't know. Another person. With you, my dear. Well, I added my dear for metrical reasons. I didn't need it with you. But it's no problem, because the answer comes right afterwards. Amor para mim assim não dá. Like, amor means literally my love. You don't say amor, you don't call your own heart amor. Amor is literally meine Liebe. It's like, it's your beloved. So, you know, I could spoil it a little bit before the question mark. With you, my dear, my love, for me this just won't do. Now you understand what she's dealing with. She's not happy with some situation, and now we don't know if this is unrequited love. Maybe it's actually mutual, but the guy is not very dependable. I'm figuring it's a guy, because Mimikat is a straight cisgender woman, so let's assume it's a guy. So yeah, or maybe the guy isn't decided or something, or maybe it's even an ongoing relationship and things aren't going well. It could be either of them. We don't know. And that's what makes the song fun and relatable, because you can basically project whatever you have been through or are going through into that song. It will work, especially if you're an anxious person. And then, now we come for the real kicker. Because I don't feel like I'm myself this time. In Portuguese, she's saying literally, it seems that it's not even me anymore. It wouldn't rhyme, but I think this is an expression of, it's like a dissociation episode, you know? Almost like she doesn't feel she belongs in her own body. That's why she was addressing her organs as being my this and my that, but at the same time as if they were things she could address, except for the brain, as we saw. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm myself this time. Maybe there were other times. Maybe this isn't the first time she's gone through this. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe she already had love in her life and it wasn't this complicated. I wanted to add a little bit of lore to this, you know. You can speculate all you want. I like Mimikat's like almost open-ended nature. These lyrics tell a lot, but there's a lot they don't tell. That's what makes them good. They don't have to explain it all for you, you know. They leave you to fill in the blanks. And now we come to my personal touch on these lyrics. I wanted to preserve some of the double entendre, and not just preserve it, put it in a pedestal, like assume it, like say, oh no, here it is. Not assume it, admit it, like say, no, this is really a double entendre. So we have here, it's not obvious. We have to fill in the metrical of the poem. Oh my poor heart, oh my dear heart, are you even mine? I added the poor and the dear because heart is a very short one-syllable word, while coração has 3 syllables. So we had to solve it some way. But I changed the adjective from poor to dear. While saying my poor heart, my dear heart, this is still not completely obvious, but the dear heart already leads us to believe this is a person, but we have it already spoiled before. But when the song begins, you only have, oh, my poor heart. We still don't know it. So, in a sense, the spoiler isn't coming too soon. I was careful about it. And then we have, are you even mine? Well, diz-me lá se és meu, are you even mine? It's a better way of putting, tell me whether you are really mine. And here is again the ambiguity. Maybe it's an ongoing relationship and she's having like doubts about it, or maybe it's not yet a relationship and she's not sure, like, what is this? Are you trying to be mine or not? Now I'm gonna skip the nice dance section to make this shorter, and let's see the next verse.
As horas passam e o sono não vem. Ouço as corujas e os vizinhos também. O meu juízo foi-se por lá ficou. Alguém me tira deste estado em que estou.
Okay, so we have. I really love this section. This is where the song gets really playful, and you see it in her expression, and in the kind of verbiage she uses. She says, hours go by and I just can't get respite. I hear the owls and the neighbors alike. Well, I couldn't do a perfect translation. She literally says, hours go by and my sleep never comes. I couldn't make it rhyme. And I guess I didn't need to mention sleep because I already mentioned you keep me awake. Oh, I didn't say this before. Basically, paz e sossego, the peace and quiet thing. I decided to go to the awake route. And by having mentioned that she is wide awake, I don't need to mention it now. So there was some some switcheroo between verses, but the information is still there as a whole. Then on the second one is literal. I just made it a little bit more poetic. I hear the owls and the neighbors alike. Someone commented in YouTube that, what are houses made of in Portugal? Well, they are made of concrete and bricks, and yet they are not great. And yes, indeed, we can hear our neighbors, depending on how good the soundproofing is, which is usually not that great. But I mean, I don't know who said this was from the US. I mean, their houses are wooden. Maybe it's better soundproofing, even though it's more fragile. My common sense has got nowhere to be seen. Well, I made a little translation, like juízo means like wiseness or judgment. But in this case, it's just having common sense. She lost it. She completely lost it. I don't know if this is a good translation. I'm a bit unsure about my common sense. I thought it fitted well in the metric of the poem, and I just left it there. And I added the idiom, is gone, nowhere to be seen. Like, por lá ficou, it means it went like to an undisclosed location, like Elvis in the island. yeah, I mean, nowhere to be seen is more idiomatic, more English expression. And then it's also literal. Someone get me out of this state that I'm in. Alguém me tire deste estado em que estou. I am happy to have preserved the alliteration. I also added some before, like you make me stay wide awake. A lot of W's and Y's. You make me wait. It's like woo 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 woo. Interesting. It's interesting to note that she doesn't have a lot of alliteration, but she has it in this verse, and she also has it on the earlier verse. Estou louca completamente all those T's. And yeah, I added a little bit more alliteration than in the original, and I'm happy that this one turned out literal and with the same expression. Also, regarding the meaning of the lyrics, this is my personal interpretation. I have some friends who don't agree with it, but you know, it's my interpretation. There's also an overarching evolution of the subject of the song. She's first complaining, okay? She's complaining about her situation. Then, on the end of the second verse, she's already saying, "Someone get me out of the state of the state that I'm in." She's not reveling in this feeling. She wants to move on, and she plainly says, "Someone, a third party, someone get me out of this state that I'm in." I don't think this someone is my heart, my sweetheart, because she's addressing my sweetheart in second person, and she's mentioning a third person someone, undisclosed. And why do I think this is important? Because this is the third verse. On the fourth verse, we start getting some hints as what she may be doing. So there is a narrative to the song. This has lore. It reels you in and makes you think, what is this person going through? What is she doing to solve it? So there's a lot of who, when, why, what. It's there if you think about it. If you look closely, you see it's there.
O doutor diz que não há nada a fazer. Caso perdido viu eu a escrever. Ando perdida numa outra dimensão. Toda eu sou uma grande confusão.
Okay. So yeah, here you have the answer. It's the doctor. She goes to the doctor. She's so desperate, she goes to the doctor. Which doctor? Do we know? Is it a cardiologist? A GP? Or is it a psychologist or psychiatrist? We don't know. But clearly, she is putting in the effort to solve her predicament. So this is almost a literal translation. Like the doctor says, there is nothing to be done. That's what the Portuguese version literally means. But there is not much we can do. Like, I like to put this in the negative and also make it more formal. That's what I meant before about discourse levels, like code switching and whatnot. She speaks in a certain way, but the doctor, as the professional he is, speaks in a professional manner. And there is not much we can do. There are no quotes on the original lyrics, nor on the translation. We only have a hopeless case. She's just paraphrasing. She's just paraphrasing the doctor's speech. There is not much we can do, my good lady. You're doomed. Or maybe she's not doomed. I can almost imagine kind of like House MD kind of character, like scorning and saying, "What are you doing here in my office? Like, I there's nothing I can do for you because you're just love struck. Get out of my face. I have real patients." I almost call them customers. I have real patients to attend to. So maybe that's it. Or maybe she went to the psychiatrist and there is not much we can do because it's chronic. That's the thing with anxiety. You have it and you can only invest in coping mechanisms and obviously medication, but it's not going away. It's just part of your being, your personality, your mental makeup. And then we have a hopeless case, like she saw him scribble down to, did she? Would a doctor write a hopeless case on his tiny little notepad. No, I mean, he would like write a whole paper and publish it. Come on, it's a doctor we're talking about. I also changed writing. I saw him writing down to scribble down. My doctors have this really terrible, excuse me, this terrible handwriting. So yeah, and on the next lines, I also made some interpretation of my own, some changes. She says, ando perdida numa outra dimensão. This is beautiful and poetic. She's been lost in a different dimension, almost like, I don't know, like a sci-fi kind of thing. Me being the former geometry student that I am, I thought this, I've been adrift across a different plane, adds a couple of things, or 3 or 4 things. First, I love the alliteration. Adrift across a different plane. This is hard to sing. Like, try to say this very hard and you have a tongue twister. So yeah, and I'll try to sing it. I've been, even the V, it's like almost the same sound. And the adrift is a callback to our nautical history. Of course, like, I mean, we're Portuguese. We have to be adrift at some point, like, as the navigators we are. I think she's navigating on the Mayo. We have this expression, nadar na maionese, and I've seen Mimi Cat personally use this expression in interviews. So I see this, I imagine this character swimming in Mayo. Like, she's completely lost. It's, yeah. And across a different plane. There's something to this, the being across a different plane. I checked this out. I read a bit on these idiomatic expressions, and being on a different plane can mean when 2 people, like when a couple, or even 2, I don't know, work colleagues or whatever, whenever 2 people are on different planes, they are on different planes of existence, or different planes of personal development, or even of their own life, you know. And this means that they are incompatible. This couple is incompatible by some reason, either couple, soon to be ex-couple, or potential couple. But this is also resolution. I mean, I've been adrift across a different plane. She understands that she's on a different plane. So this is a sudden realization. This is the like the circle, like the whole narrative arch closing. This is the end point. It's almost like the stages of grief. It's acceptance. She realizes what happened, and as a clincher, she says, "Toda eu sou uma grande confusão." I mean, she's putting it on her. Interesting. She's no longer blaming the other guy. And this, if any of you has ever done therapy, you know this is part of the process. You know, understanding. You go from a place of thinking, oh, the world hates me, everything's bad and wrong, and then suddenly you realize, but wait, maybe some of it is on me. Maybe all of it. I mean, depends. It can vary from case to case, but yes, there is this moment of sudden realization. You start thinking, oh wait, maybe I did act wrong in this particular situation. So my entire being is a mess. It's insane. She realizes she's a mess. So maybe this is also a little bit on her, but maybe not. Maybe it's not on her because it's just her brain, the way she was born. We don't know. That's the beauty of it. We just don't know. You can project whatever you want from your experience into this. Again. So it's a common theme. We'll just see the ending. Just to oh wait, there's more. No, yeah, it's the chorus. Then comes the sexy part. And you can see that I already mentioned, oh, my sweetheart. So we have, I have nothing to add when it comes to lyrics because the final chorus is the same thing. So basically, now we have the crescendo. Much like the song has a musical and dynamic crescendo towards that final belted high note, I figured that the lyrics could have a bit of a crescendo as well. That progressive reveal with a conceptual crescendo. Poor heart, oh poor heart, the poor thing. It's not my dear heart, I actually like it. Oh my sweetheart, oh you're my love, my everything. You know, that's also an expression of that. I wanted to capture a little bit of that and translate it into the text itself. And she's doing it vocally. She's literally climbing up and up in pitch and dynamics, in melody and dynamics. So yes, that's basically it. Now for some, well, I mean, I'll let it run because, you know, I want you guys to be able to use this as maybe some karaoke practice. I just want to react, you know. I've listened to this a lot of times, but I like reacting to it. Let's just put the beautiful soft part. That's also the breakdown. It ties in with this whole narrative thing. I mean, she has to have some self-reflection there, right?
Peito arder, a boca seca, eu sei lá que te fazer amor para mim assim não dá, porque parece que nem sou mais eu.
So dramatic.
Ai coração, ai coração. Diz-me lá se és meu.
I mean, yeah, that's it. It's a banger. So this was my lyrics and translation explainer. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a better understanding of Portuguese, not Portuguese culture so much, more Portuguese language, and of just how difficult it is to write in Portuguese and to also perform in Portuguese. It's a really hard language to sing in. I wasn't joking on my cover video. Even for Portuguese singers, professional Portuguese singers and lyrically, classically trained singers, it is a hard language, always, with lots of consonants and closed vowels and whatnot. It's a hard language. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed all of this. As I said before and said also on my other video, I'm not likely to record any more videos for at least the next month. But still, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Who knows, maybe I will publish something else until then. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this and have a nice day.